Hi, in this video we're going to talk about the simulation attribute of the agent. Let's first open our example, the sample 63 noise logic 1. We usually use this file for demonstrating our features. When you open that scene, you can see that this is a line of a simple agent, and when we place them and play back the simulation, this is just a simple walk, nothing special. So let's create a logic node for assign the simulation attribute to the agent. Let's click this to make a decision and add the scene adder. Adder, and create. Let's directly first create an output language here and expand this outliner. And let's just add my attribute, the set my attribute. The name, you can name it as you wish. For example, scene data, and which value it should be 10, whatever should be okay, or 9. Anything should be okay. And when we click the reset, you can see that there's no any of the attribute has been created inside of the agent. And when we play back the simulation, you can see that the same data has been created inside of the memory of the agent. This is the simulation attribute, and you can use this attribute as the input and trigger the agent to do something. For example, let's make the another decision and the speed up. For example, let's just make the input the my attribute. This is a simulation time my attribute. So the attribute name is scene data, and the value is greater than 1. When this is activated, let's make it our simulation playback faster. Let's change the action on the walk the playback speed by 2. Okay, and when you run the simulation, you can see that all of the agent is to walk very fast. And let's just add more logic here, and here let's create the bound. We're going to make our agent add the attribute only when they inside the bound. So we just need to enable the input language inside of the sim adder node and added the conditions the bound. I'm in the bound, and that means if I'm in the bound, set my attribute sim data to the value is 9. So let's run the simulation. When we click the reset and run the simulation, you can see that there's no attribute created inside of the agent. And once the agent inside of this bound, it will create and simulation sim data, which value is 9 inside of the agent memory for each one of the agent inside of the bound. And for the outside, it will not create this attribute. So you can see that the agent inside this bound will walk very fast. And you can notice that once the agent, the outside of this, the simulation data is also there. That means when we created that, the simulation data, the attribute will be written inside of this agent memory, and it will not change. So you can use this to simulate something like a task when the agent is inside this bound. So it will create a marker into the agent, and you can make the agent continually do something after the agent inside this bound. So for example, you can make the agent inside this bound and start running, and keep running, and after it's outside of this bound. So you can use this kind of the simulation the attribute. So just like this, and let's just change the speed up the logic a little bit, and change this output logic from the speed to another one, the action playback, and playback the run let's make sure this run existed inside of your action repository. And please notice that the priority should be the higher than 1, which should be the 1.5, for example. And let's run the simulation. You can see that agent is walk, and inside this bound it will start to run, and it will not stop run. It will keep running unless the same data they changed to the 0. And we can add the more logic inside of the scene for making the simulation more interesting. For example, this is a task. The first task is if the agent is inside of this bound and it start running. And when the agent is encounter another thing, it will start walking, and it will keep walking and not change. So let's do that, and let's create a spot and make this right here. And if the agent is near this spot, for example, the distance is very close, like this. Here, let's create another logic spot. Spot to me distance is less than, for example, 5. Here is the 447. 442. Okay, that is 5. And at this time, let's just change the same data. Set my attributes same data. The -5. And let's keep simulation. You can see that the same data of this agent is changed to the -5, and you can see that this condition will not activate anymore, and it will try to go to the walk action once again. So just like this, you can see that the agent is start walking, and it will keep walking because the same data of it is -5. So the other agent is keep the running because the same data is the 9. And at this time, you can see that our same data, the attribute, is kind of the mode of set. So we can directly set the value to this simulation data. And then let me introduce how to change the set mode to the change rate mode, so that the simulation data can be changed by your agent in each frame. So let's do that. Let's click the reset and do some modification on our logic nodes. First, we need to change add a new logic inside of the default decision, and add the change my attribute as speed. So let's change the contents same data, and add the speed 0. And let's just change this node. If I'm in the bound, this currently is the set mode. Let's just change that to the change rate mode. To change my attributes same data as speed 1. So it will increase the 1 for that same data for each frame. So we can also change that to the 0.35. For example, and when this simulation data, the attribute, same data, the value is greater than 1, it will start running. So let's just see that what will happen. Let's delete this node, and let's play back. You can see that there's no same data that is created inside of the agent, and if this inside of this bound, the same data attribute will be created, and the agent outside will not. And you can see that for each frame it will be increased. And if the agent is outside this bound, it will not increase it. And if the value is greater than 1, it will try to run. So this is a change rate mode of the same simulation, the attribute of the agent. So the simulation, the attribute is very useful if you want to simulate the agent, some of the internal data, and store that into each one of the agent. And also you can use that later for choose the action and choose the geometry randomization even in the render session. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.